Hello, television family. Good to see you again. We're back at it. Tuesday, 6th day of January, 2026. I am Dan Kuntz, driving the bus alongside my co-pilot, Malcolm. 32 degrees. Cool looking shot there from our Wenatchee Heights camera, isn't it? Got some low clouds and fog hanging around. Took a while yesterday for the low clouds and fog to get burned off. It eventually did, but we only got to 36 degrees. Probably not going to see the sun a great deal today. The big weather story today is going to be the snow, and lots of snow, and then more snow, and this is going to snow some more in the Cascades. And then after that, they're going to get some snow. If you need to go over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house over to the Puget Sound area, or the other way around, if by chance you're watching in the Puget Sound area, go now, because it's going to get worse before it gets better. They have a winter storm warning for the Cascades. It's pretty serious stuff. 4 feet of snow between today and Thursday afternoon. I'm no expert, but that's a lot of snow. Forecast details are on the way. We're back at it news-wise. It was a pretty busy news day yesterday in the bullpen, and today's too is no exception. We'll let you know what's going on around here. Sports, the Seattle Kraken are kind of like the Seahawks now. They like to go on the road and they like to win. They're playing some pretty good hockey right now. They took care of Calgary, especially in the third period. Highlights of that, lots of high school sports going on as well. Plus, we'll check in with head coach Mike McDonald of the Seattle Seahawks, who have the week off, but they're still going to work. I'll need to remember how that works. It's Tuesday. It's Hockey Talk with our good buddy Austin Draude, broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Another team that's starting to play some pretty good hockey at just the right time. They beat Portland in both of their games they played over the weekend against the Winterhawks. What happened against Everett, we won't talk about. Austin will be here live in the back half of the program, 2 minutes after the hour. Tour time. Got some good shots for you today. Malcolm and I are very happy that the fog stayed right where it was. We have this scenario where we go through all of the cameras that we want to use about 5 minutes before we go on the air. And then we go on the air and the cameras are then clouded in fog and mist and clouds. That's not the case today. That's pretty cool. From our Wenatchee Heights camera. That's sweet. This is the last day of sunrise at 7:48. It's been at 7:48 for about the last 8 days. Starting tomorrow, sunrise will be at 7:47. Sunset tonight, 4:26. That's 8 hours and 38 minutes of daylight. It'll be about 90 seconds longer today than it was yesterday. High atop Hay Canyon, looking down over Cashmere. Traffic on the highway going smoothly. A lot of reports over the last 3. Of course, we're up very, very early. We can listen to the scanner in the newsroom almost every morning for the last 10 days. A car versus deer collision. They've been very prevalent over the last couple of weeks. That's not good, especially for the deer. You can see the lights of Mission Ridge off in the distance there from the Oh Me, Oh My, Oh Me Garden camera. Looking down over Old Station and the Otabashian Bridge. There's the same cloud bank over East Wenatchee, just from a different angle. Now let's check in with the Bavarian village of Leavenworth. I wonder how they fared. Not having electricity for a weekend and the lights, and I know tourism was down because it was hard to get to Leavenworth. I hope they did okay. My guess is the tills were a little lower than they would normally be. I don't know that for a fact, but from what I understand is it wasn't the best of holiday seasons in Leavenworth, but it's still pretty to go to. I'm glad that we live that close to the Bavarian village. It's kind of a cool thing. Here comes a pretty good weather system. Not going to really affect us. Take a look at the snow, though. In the Cascades, it's going to snow pretty good. Again, a winter storm warning is running right now, and it goes all the way till 4 o'clock Thursday. That's a long period of time. Usually winter storm warnings last 12 hours, maybe 18 or 20, but having a winter storm warning that lasts 2.5 days means it's going to get a lot of snow, about 4 feet of snow on Stevens. The magic number elevation-wise is about 37 to 3,800 feet, so just about Snoqualmie Pass on up to Stevens Pass. They're going to get a lot of snow all the way through 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. But right now, it's okay because I just checked. So go if you need to go, because it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And we'll throw a little wind in there, too. Cascade's going to get wind. Not only is it going to snow, it's going to have blowing snow. And out in the Columbia Basin, Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, Ritzville, you're going to have some blowing, there's no snow on the ground, but you're going to have some gusty winds in that area. It's going to be a little breezy here in the Wenatchee Valley tonight into Wednesday. Outside of that, the wind's really not going to affect us here in the valley. Cascades are going to protect us in that regard, but we'll throw a little wind into there as well. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. Snow level right now is at 900 feet, but it's not snowing. It's going to go to about 3,000 feet later on today, so precipitation, rain, and it'll be later on. Today, afternoon rain anyway. Lots of clouds to go along with it. We'll top off at about 38. It's about a 60% chance of precipitation. Snow level goes down to 1,300 feet overnight tonight, but again, no precipitation. The story tonight from Mother Nature is it's going to be quite windy. We'll see gusts pushing 30 miles an hour overnight tonight. And eventually, when you go to bed, it'll be cloudy. When you wake up Wednesday morning, it'll be clear. We'll get down to about 30. So there you go. Wednesday, partly sunny, about 39, 40% chance of something coming out of the sky with a high of 39. It'll be rain. So basically the overall pattern all the way to Thursday afternoon is snow in the mountains and rain in the valley, although some of the foothills around Wenatchee could get a little bit of light snow. It won't stick around much. All these temperatures are above normal that you see. Then we calm down and a pretty pleasant weekend, 43, 42, 44. On Sunday under partly sunny skies. Once we get to Thursday, by the way, we'll be dry. So rain, if anything, in the Wenatchee Valley and the mountains. Going to get hammered pretty good. Going to take a break and come back with your news. It's a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Pretty interesting shot there. 32 degrees here in the big city, upper 30s today. Afternoon rain, lots of snow in the mountains, and that pattern pretty much continues right through Thursday with a little bit of wind thrown in just for good measure later on tonight. It's about 9 minutes after the hour. An employee at a care agency who admitted embezzling nearly $20,000 from vulnerable adult clients. She has been ordered to serve jail time, also work release. 37-year-old Laura K. Tafola of East Wenatchee, she pled guilty in Douglas County Court last month to first-degree theft and identity theft. East Wenatchee police arrested Tafola last July on 16 criminal counts after employers at the care agency Ambitions of Washington found some suspicious transactions on her ledgers. She had worked at Ambitions as an account manager. Judge Brian Huber sentenced Tafola to 7 days in jail with 23 days to be served on work release. She must also reimburse the $19,600 that she took and have no contact with her old workplace and have no contact with vulnerable adults. Chelan County Commissioners approved a resolution Monday supporting the Rivercom 911 sales tax measure. It's going to be on ballots just about a month from now. The measure would increase the local sales tax by 0.1% to improve emergency services in Chelan and Douglas counties and also expand Rivercom's facility. Rivercom, of course, currently operates out of the Wenatchee Police Department building across the street from us. They plan to renovate an existing building in Old Station and build a new facility by early next year. The resolution approved by Commissioners Sean Smith and Brad Hawkins. Commissioner Kevin Overbay abstained from voting, saying he wants to remain neutral on ballot measures. Voters will decide the fate of the sales tax, the February 10th special election. 3 individuals and a couple of organizations have been nominated for the 2026 Uplift Awards. The awards recognize individuals, groups, or organizations in the Wenatchee Valley that protect civil rights, promote social justice, or advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. This year's individual nominees: City of Wenatchee Park Director Big Wave Dave, my good buddy Dave Eric. Congratulations, Dave. Former Wenatchee School District Board Member Martin Barron and civil rights investigator Wilma Cartagena. The 2 nominated organizations, Hand in Hand Immigration Services and NCW Libraries. The award ceremony being held during the Martin Luther King Jr. Multicultural Fest at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. That'll be on January 17th. It's a free event, and it's meant to celebrate the Valley's cultural heritage through crafts and performances while teaching about MLK's impact on history and society. 5 staff members returned to Holden Village. It wasn't easy. They had to take a helicopter. They got back on New Year's Day to establish a long-term winter caretaker team. Holden Village, a Lutheran retreat center located above Lake Chelan, they had to evacuate pretty much the entire staff back on December 14th in response to the major mudslides and washouts from that atmospheric river that rolled through here. The first wave of staff members who returned, part of a, quote, safe return to village plan, end quote. It was developed by village leadership, and the caretaker team will ultimately include about 10 to 15 people with a regular schedule of resupply trips and relief crews as needed. The community says it will continue to review procedures like emergency medical processes, new communications standards, revised health screenings, and helicopter resupply rhythms. Holden Village, of course, is still closed to visitors, and they expect the United States Forest Service to present initial plans for fixing the road from the lake up to Holden Village sometime later on this month. The Community Foundation of North Central Washington is a grant-making machine for the region. They raise and then they distribute money to help local nonprofits meet their budgets and carry out their projects. The foundation turns 40 this year. Last year, it passed out more than $514,000 from its Legacy Fund grant program. It goes to nonprofits up and down the Columbia River in Chelan, Douglas, and Okanogan counties. The executive director, Beth Stipe, was my guest on this very show yesterday, and she told me how they raise the funds, then how they hand them out.
There's kind of a 2-pronged approach to how the funds happen for our Legacy Fund grant-making program. And that is unrestricted funds that come to the Community Foundation, and then restricted funds that come through our Founder Circle for each of the individual community legacy funds. So we have legacy funds in all of the, I would say, major areas of North Central Washington: Waterville, Mansfield, Okanogan Valley, Methow Valley, Cashmere, Upper Valley,
basically
Wenatchee
outside
Valley,
of the Wenatchee Valley.
Chelan Valley.
Right, okay.
Exactly.
Right.
So all of the communities have their dedicated legacy fund where volunteers from that area do a 3-year term that they come in and they go out and do all of the site visits along with a trustee from the Community Foundation as well as staff from the Community Foundation. They visit with all of these organizations, and then they have this budget that they have to deal with and to make those difficult decisions on how to allocate those funds. And as an example, the Wenatchee Valley Local Advisory Board had to do almost 60 site visits, and they had to determine out of those 60 organizations where they could fund their roughly $300,000. That's a lot of those are a lot of organizations to have to consider and to make those difficult decisions, because we just don't have the funding to meet every need.
And the volunteers are not only good people, but they have a lot of common sense.
Yes.
They know if maybe something that wasn't quite on the up and up, that we're going to do a little homework here.
Yes, and the Community Foundation also offers support for those, oftentimes emerging organizations that are maybe just getting started. Maybe they don't have a balance sheet, so we can offer them access to resources where they can learn how to do those kinds of things and get their house in order, if you will, so that when they come back the next time, if they are unsuccessful in this year's cycle, there are future opportunities for them as they continue to improve their efficiency and effectiveness.
They're all well-deserved. Some are larger than others.
Yes.
And ergo, they get maybe a little bit more money.
Yeah, we also have, we're always learning at the Community Foundation. And so this is only the second year of this Legacy Fund program. And so one of the things that we, as we started to move our grant making more localized than it already was, we realized that there are organizations that kind of don't fit in a box necessarily. Like, as an example, Community Action Council. They provide access to food for all of Chelan and Douglas counties. And so within Chelan and Douglas County, we have multiple legacy funds. And so how do you support or put Community Action Council only in the Wenatchee Valley when they're supporting Chelan, Cashmere, Upper Valley, Waterville, Mansfield? So we decided that we were going to do a regional pool. So we set aside a little bit of money out of our unrestricted funds that our local advisory boards are able to make a recommendation when they visit an organization that has an impact outside of their territory, if you will. They can recommend that back to the Board of Trustees of the Community Foundation, of which they have a pot of money, and they can allocate additional resources for those organizations that are covering a much larger footprint than some of our smaller organizations that are really localized.
And the kind of story I really don't like reporting. We're going to miss Jane Hensel, the America Performing Arts Center. She was one of the founders. Jane Hensel died just shortly after Christmas. She was 99 years old. The original member, one of the original members of the nonprofit group that set out to get the PAC built. Way back in 1992, she served as its board president when it opened. In 2001, she continued raising funds for the PAC during its troubled early seasons, attended almost every performance. She was a longtime resident of Waterville and East Wenatchee. She was also on the board of the Community Foundation of North Central Washington, the Wenatchee Valley Symphony, and Central Washington Hospital, and she will be missed. And that's what's going on here on this Tuesday. If you're interested in what's going on around here, and we think you are, just because we're here, watch the news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, the NCW Life Evening News, 5, 6, and 10 on the traditional television airing times. If you don't do traditional television airing times, we've discovered a lot of you don't, thank you to YouTube. Our news will be up and running on YouTube right around 5 o'clock. Don't forget, we're on Roku, we're on Apple, we're on the Amazon Fire Stick. I'm running out of fingers to do this with. We have an app, we have an email address. We've gotten some pretty big stories because you folks kind of point us in the right direction. So if you have a news tip, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Guess who's playing really good hockey? The Seattle Kraken. Proof positive of that in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
21 minutes after the hour. It was pretty close after two periods, 1-1. Then Shane Wright scored early in the third period. Philip Grubauer, 41 saves. And in Calgary, the Kraken pull away for a nice victory. The final was 5-1. So the Kraken are now 7-0-1 in their last 8 games. They've won 5 in a row on the road. We're going to start highlights in the third period with the score tied at 1 apiece.
Off the boards in front of the boxes. Huberdeau stretches out to Sharangovich, one-on-one. Sharangovich shoots, right pass saved by Grubauer. Frost couldn't get to the rebound. Go! Up ice of the Kraken. Freddie Gaudreau has right in front, finds him and scores! That was a Myers setup to right, and he'll find the lead for Seattle.
Rims it around. Now watch this pass from Myers. That is a beautiful pass from the fourth line center to the third line center right that they were playing together on that shift. That is a great pass.
Uyghur angled one out to center. Dunn will take over. Larson snaps it ahead on the Kakko. Bursting in is Beniers. Kakko to the trailer. Dunn shoots, scores! Top corner shot by Vince Dunn, and it's a 3-1 Seattle lead.
And I talked about Vince Dunn earlier in the game about his offensive upside. Watch Kakko right here. Spots Dunn coming right down Main Street, and he snaps home his 6th of the season for a 3-1 lead for the Kraken. But that was well done by the Kraken right from their own zone. The long stretch pass from Larson. There's a little bit of contact right in.
Nearly first on his own, dumping. Pressuring Larson, who moved it on to Everly. Just around ball, Beniers shoots, right pass saved by Dustin Wolf. 6 skaters on for the Flames. Off the draw, Kadri goes to the line. Frost played it in. Stevenson to Gaudreau, shoots for the empty net, scores. Freddie Gaudreau finds the 3rd goal of the 3rd for Seattle, up 4-1.
Percentage of face-offs before that draw, wins that one, gets it back to Gaudreau. Gaudreau about 175.
Seattle on the front end of a back-to-back. They'll jump on the plane, go to their home ice with the Bruins waiting. Beniers tests Wolf. He'll stop and rebound. They score. Adding one for good measure is Beniers, who makes it 5-1 Seattle.
Well, they're just hungry right now, Seattle. Kirkland turns it over, throw the puck to the net. It was actually deflected, I believe, on the way. And so Wolf can't handle that first shot. He has to adjust, and Beniers just spins around, gets away from.
With the time winding down, we'll skate it off. Flames fall short against the Kraken, who continue their point streak. Seattle has won 3 in a row. 5-1 the final tonight for Seattle.
Now it's back home. Kraken are back at Climate Pledge Arena tonight. They'll take on the Boston Bruins. The puck is set to drop at 7 o'clock. Well, a normal week of preparation for the Seahawks is tightly regimented. It's scheduled right down to the minute for practice and preparation. But of course, this is not an ordinary week because they don't play this weekend. They won't play until either the 17th or the 18th of this month. And not only that, they don't know who the heck they're going to play, and they won't know until Sunday. So it's kind of an interesting schedule for this week anyway. Coach Mike McDonald addressed the plans for this week yesterday.
You know, the guys were in today really to put the game to bed, and then they'll be off tomorrow, and we'll have a good work day on Wednesday and Thursday, and then the players will have a few days off, and we'll be back rocking on Monday. So it's a little tricky because you don't know what day you're going to play, and you're not sure you're going to play, and not sure who you're going to play yet. So there's a balance of trying to stay ready, stay sharp, but also be able to take advantage of the opportunity we have to take care of our bodies and get as fresh as possible.
Mike, are you your staff doing any advanced scouting on the what-if opponents? You're just going to wait till that's...
No, we'll be working on those teams throughout the week. Yep, I mean it's a combination where I think the possible teams are Green Bay, Carolina, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. So we have those recent games with 3 of those teams, and so we'll spend a good amount of time working on Green Bay as well. So. However the weekend ends up shaking out, we should feel really great going into Monday.
Seahawks will host the lowest rated, still standing team in the NFC West on, again, either the 17th or the 18th of January. You like high school basketball? Well, there's a bunch of games tonight. You can pretty much throw a rock at any gymnasium, and they're going to be dribbling there. Here's your prep girls basketball schedule. Some league games, most league games, a couple are not league games. They get going to 5:30 with Quincy at Toppenish. They wrap up with Indiana Pateris at 6 with a whole bunch of games in between. And guess what? There's even more boys games. Now, a lot of these are double headers, girls followed by the boys. That's how that usually works. But there's also some standalone games as well. They'll get going to 7 o'clock with Quincy at Toppenish. They wrap it up with Moses Lake Christian and Waterville Mansfield at 7:30. Enjoy a little high school basketball. Can't forget about bowling. Wenatchee has a home match. It is against Moses Lake. They'll take on the Mavericks at Eastmont Lanes at 2 o'clock, and unless they may actually rebuild Columbia Lanes between now and 2 o'clock. I don't think that's going to happen. Sela has a bowling program. They don't have a league, so they'll take on whoever will come down to Sela. In that case, it'll be Eastmont hitting the bus. They'll be down there at 3 o'clock. And can't forget about wrestling. Sunnyside at Eastmont. That's good. Both these teams are very good wrestling programs. Eastmont will host Sunnyside on the mats at 7 o'clock tonight, and those are just some of the games that people are playing. The following holidays are available for you to partake in. It's National Cuddle Up Day, a good time for January. National Technology Day. It's National Shortbread Day because Mama loves her shortbread. It's Weigh-In Day. I thought we did that yesterday. Some people weigh in every day. It's National Take Down Your Christmas Tree Day today. Most people did that over the weekend. I saw a lot of pickup trucks with Christmas trees in the bed over the course of the 4-day weekend. But today, beans, a wonderful fruit. The more you eat, the more it's Bean Day. Today, we've been eating beans as long as we've been eating food. Essentially, beans are like the first cultivated food that we ate. We've been eating beans for thousands of years. It helps that they're good for you. How many different types of beans are there? About 40,000 types of beans. That's a lot of beans. By statute, Yankee bean soup must be on the menu in the Senate cafeteria in our nation's capital every day. And I'm told by those who have eaten there, it's not very good at all. The top bean producing states in this country, no surprise there. North Dakota, Michigan, and Nebraska. In fact, North Dakota accounts for 32% alone of all the bean productions in this country. 40 tons of baked beans are eaten in Great Britain every hour. The average American will eat about 1/4 of the amount of beans that the average resident of Great Britain eats. They like their beans on the other side of the pond. 29 minutes after the hour, today in history, the very first recorded boxing match took place a long, long time ago, January 6th, 1681. It was Christopher Monk was the guy who organized it. He was the second Duke of Albemarle, and he engineered a bare-knuckle fight between his butler and his butcher. You can imagine who won. The butcher won. This was 1681. What were the rules? None. The Marquess of Queensberry rules didn't come into effect for another couple hundred years, so it was anything goes. Eye gouging, headbutting, just plain old punching. Of course, there were no gloves. You could pick them up and throw them. There was no referee. There was no weight limit. Basically, two guys beat the crap out of each other until one of them either fell unconscious or said, "I quit." The first boxing match, for what it's worth, on the state in 1681. We always welcome a new state to the Union. Time to play Guess That Flag. I like this flag. One of my faves. I'll let you think about it. Take a look at it for just a little bit. Think about it. It's the land of enchantment. I'll give you a little hint there. It is the state flag of New Mexico, who joined the Union 114 years ago today, 1912. At 7,199 feet above sea level, Santa Fe is the highest state capital in the country. That's way up there, 7,199 feet. Almost 75% of all the roads in New Mexico is unpaved. New Mexico has more cows than people. New Mexico does not pay their state legislators. They are paid for expenses only. It comes out to about 15 grand a year, but they don't get a salary. If you are in the New Mexico State Senate or State House, you don't get paid. You just get paid for your expenses. New Mexico has more doctorates or people with a PhD degree per capita than any other state because it's a leader in science and technology. And the New Mexico state constitution specifically prohibits idiots from voting. How they determine what an idiot is, it doesn't say. Happy birthday to New Mexico, which, by the way, is a beautiful state. Beautiful state indeed. FDR had won an unprecedented third term. He addresses a joint session of Congress, a State of the Union address on this date in 1941, and he delivers one of the most famous speeches of all time, which, by the way, he wrote himself, the Four Freedoms speech. Here is an excerpt of that.
The first is freedom of speech and expression everywhere in the world. The second is freedom of every person to worship God in his own way everywhere in the world. The third is freedom from want, which translated into world terms means economic understandings which will secure to every nation a healthy, peacetime life for its inhabitants everywhere in the world. The fourth is freedom from fear, which translated into world terms means a worldwide reduction of armaments to such a point and in such a thorough fashion that no nation will be in a position to commit an act of physical aggression against any neighbor anywhere in the world.
It was a nice dream, anyway, and it's one of the few speeches that actually is better if you read it instead of listen to it. The Four Freedoms speech. Still trying. Oh, well. I'm one of the few people around who remember the 1974 oil crisis. Gas prices went up. Of course, the OPEC countries just cut off the supply. They just turned off the faucet and said, you're on your own for oil. And in response to that, believe it or not, we went to daylight saving time year-round, and it started on this date in 1974. Now, I can't stand that. You know that. It's one of my changing the clocks. Spring moved forward in the spring and going back. It's just stupid. Pick a time. I don't care if it's daylight saving time or standard time. Just pick it. But we actually went to year-round daylight saving time. The idea was to save oil. Didn't work. We gave it up after about a year, but we gave it a try. And 5 years ago today, I'll just put that up there. Can't believe it's been 5 years. January 6th. Birthdays. The man who founded Pink Floyd, Syd Barrett. He was the original leader of the group, brought the group together. It then took one more acid trip more than he should have. The music that he created with his band and his two solo albums, which, by the way, are very good. And then Syd Barrett kind of went. the song Shine On Your Crazy Diamond. By the way, the entire album, Wish You Were Here, my favorite Pink Floyd album from 50 years ago, is pretty much about Syd Barrett, born in this state in 1946. We lost Syd Barrett 20 years ago. He would have been 80 years old today. Kate McKinnon is 42. Saturday Night Live, she still shows up there occasionally, but she hasn't been on Saturday Night Live now for 4 years. Happy 42nd to Kate McKinnon. And let's bring up Caroline. This is an older photo. Oh, that's a new one. Thank you, Mac. There's Caroline. She's my great niece. There you go. There's Caroline. She is in Mrs. Blankenship's 3rd grade class at Vale Elementary. She loves reading, science, Irish dance, and her family. Happy birthday. It also comes from Grandma Juju. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsor. So you got silver, you got gold, and then you got platinum, and then I don't know what you have after that. I'm not into that stuff, but thank you very much, Alpine Air. Good folks. Going to take a break, got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Minotti, and then it's live hockey talk with Austin Draude. Hey, the Wenatchee Wild may have turned a corner. Austin will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, my daughter, son-in-law, and grandchild Luca were coming over for dinner the other night. And I was going to cook salmon, so the day before they came, I told Luca, I said, we're having salmon. And Luca looked at me and he said, I'm allergic to salmon. Well, of course, meaning that he doesn't like salmon. Well, doggone it, in my day, the way I was raised, no one cared whether or not you liked something. You ate what was put in front of you, and you either ate it or you went hungry. Nobody put up with your culinary likes or dislikes. So remembering what I've been taught, I have, of course, made the kid some Italian sausage, which I know he loves. Hey, I'm his grandfather. I'm not his warden. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
It's time for BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 16, with your host, Mike Mitchell.
The winter prep sports season is here, and NCW Life Channel has you covered. Follow the Cashmere Bulldogs, Eastmont Wildcats, and Wenatchee Panthers right here. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coastal Farm and Ranch, and Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate. Follow the action all winter long on your local TV station, the NCW Life Channel.
Every Tuesday, it's Hockey Talk with Austin Draude, broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Before we go anywhere, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Another trip around the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a faux pas to ask people how old they are, especially on their birthdays. So, how
old
are
enough.
you? Just old enough?
Old enough.
Is it sometimes you feel, I mean, those long bus trips, especially when you head on up to Alberta and Upper British Columbia and over to Saskatchewan, is that sometimes you're going, I'm getting too old for this stuff?
It can be.
Yeah. But, you know, you're still young, and as is the team. Pretty good weekend. We're not talking about Saturday. What happened with the Silvertips is
let's not.
Flush it down the toilet. We're done with that. But we took on a pretty good Portland team, a Winterhawks team, at home on Friday and in Portland on Sunday. Won them both. Good. That's good.
Yeah, a Portland team that has been playing really well this year. They knocked off Everett right around New Year's Eve. So it's a Portland team that is hoping to make a nice long run themselves. They've made a couple good runs to the conference finals here the last couple years. So we knocked off a pretty good team both Friday and on Sunday in a tough place to win a game.
Yeah, a tough place to win a game is our place too. Let's go to Friday night at a pretty good crowd at the Town Toyota Center. The usual deal. Austin, take it away, my friend.
Well, we're starting early. How early? 50 seconds into the game. Power play, backdoor pass, a little poke, a little scrape. Jimmying at home is Kalen Jodry to make it a 1-0 game. Mason Kraft from the back door, finding Jodry right off the pad on that backside to push it in and make it 1-0. 2.5 minutes into the game, Mason Kraft is going to get himself one of his own. A pass across from the near wing, rifled over to the left wing circle and hammering that one home. Grady Wedman picks up the assist, and the Wild pick up the 2-0 lead and a whole truckload of momentum as we head for the midpoint of the first period. Back to the power play for the Wild. And I feel like I've said this before, haven't I? Early in the power play, Mason Kraft from Josh Toll to the back door, Kalen Jodry. Do not adjust your set. Do not hit rewind. This is not a replay. This is happening again. 3-0, 2 power play goals for Kalen Jodry.
We're only 10 minutes into the game.
10 minutes into the game, but Portland would answer back quickly. Headed the other way, Ryan Miller from Alex Weiermeyer picking that pass on the toe of his stick and flipping it home to make it a 3-1 game going to the second period of play. Wenatchee not content with a 2-goal lead. How about getting this one back? And how about doing it on the penalty kill? Aiden Grossclaw, you can't lift his stick. He's got to get a chance to, he put that one in. It walks off of his stick underneath the goaltender, Cruz Chase, and into the net for a 4-1 lead. But once again, Portland would come back. Weiermeyer off the assist in the first period. Wires at home from the edge of the slot. Second period, and cuts the lead back to 4-2. 1 point apiece in the game for Ryan Miller and Alex Weiermeyer. They help out on each other's scores. Speaking of adding points on. How about Ray Hahn? 4.5 minutes left in the second period. Hahn will turn and a toss. Mid-slot, fires that one in, and it's 5-2. Wenatchee getting outshot 31-14, but they've scored on 5 of the 14, and they lead it by a 5-2 count heading to the break. Cruz chase, night over. Tyler DiCarlo stepping in for Portland, makes his WHL debut, and wouldn't you know it, he has to face Luca Sherbina. Jousted ahead, breakaway, Luca Sherbina doing some roofing work in the wintertime. It's 6-2 Wenatchee. Luca Sherbina almost ready to fire that one off like a javelin. The Wild fire off a 4-goal victory, and another fantastic save from Tobias Tversnik. Fires himself off that left post, and another desperation save. That's your WHL save of the night. That's your Wenatchee Wild save of the night. That is the best save in a 4-goal victory for the Wild. Portland, 44 shots. Tobias Tversnik, 42 saves. And Wenatchee wins another one at home.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun on Friday night. Saturday we're not going to talk about. Before we roll the highlights on Sunday, down in Portland, after I saw the highlights Sunday of the victory over the Winterhawks in overtime that you're about to see the highlights of, it struck me as that was one of the best played games of the year on Sunday. That was a crisp, solid hockey game on both sides, and the best part is we won.
Yeah, the Wild did a good job of checking and interrupting passes, interrupting plays on Sunday night, and I think that's where if the Wild are going to make a run here in January, which they're already off to a good start with 4 of 6 in the stretch since Christmas, that's got to be where it comes from, is checking, physicality, interrupting plays, forcing mistakes, forcing turnovers. I thought the guys did a pretty good job of that on Sunday.
Beating teams ahead of you in the standings on the road, you can hang your head on that one, and it's fun to win in Portland. Great highlights. Austin, it's all yours, buddy. Take it.
We're starting this one off pretty early, and Wenatchee off to the races. Matthias Sullivan, take a look at this move, sweet to the backhand, and slips that one home to make it a 1-0 game. Just 3 minutes and change into the contest. Wenatchee not able to score again later in the period, though. Kraft fires one off the crossbar, and that one's shouldered out of play. Portland would get it back. Carter Southern headed the other way. Tobias Tversnik on the far post keeps that one out, and this game's still 1-0 in the first period. Second chance, though, in front of the net. A nice little pick move by Sam Spihar. Pulls it around the goaltender's pads. Tversnik not able to save this one into the net, and this game is tied at 1. Late in the first period, we go to the second, and Portland would grab the lead, and they would do it early. A jam into the net in the opening minute to make it a 2-1 game. Take another look at this one. A pass right out front, and Jordan Duguay is going to scramble it home and give the Winterhawks the 2-1 lead.
That would be a tough one for Tobias to stop.
That one would be a tough one for anybody to stop. The Wild about to get it back, though. A chance out front. The one-timer, and Alex Andre, over halfway through his first Western Hockey League season, Andre has his first Western Hockey League goal, and that ties the game at 2. But Carter Southern, final minute of the period, 25 seconds to go. You can't leave in that much time and space. And this game is back in Portland hands 3-2 at the break. We go to the third period, and Wenatchee answers back again. Riley Basson getting his points in bunches. He'd have 3 points in this game, including this one, a little chip shot at the front of the net on the second chance. The backhand, no less. And this game is a 3-3 tie. Heavy hit in front of the Wild bench. Doesn't faze this group at all. We go to overtime. Wenatchee has not lost a game in overtime since October. Portland winners of 3 of 4 in overtime. What? They already scored. Happy birthday, Josh Toll. I thought the birthday boy was supposed to be receiving the gifts, not giving them. Josh Toll's birthday yesterday gives the Wild an early birthday gift, 19 seconds into overtime on Sunday. 4-3 ball game. Let's go home.
I was happy that you guys weren't in a commercial break. I thought for sure half the crowd missed it. I mean, you know, regulation
it happened
is
that
over.
quickly.
Yeah, it was that good. Must have been the team must have felt pretty good in the clubhouse on the bus trip home on Sunday night.
It was a very quiet bus trip home on Sunday. It was fatigue. The guys played 3 in 4, 4 in 5. They played 6 in the last 8 or so. So it's been a busy stretch for these guys. But there's no doubt they left everything out there on Sunday night. And it checked a lot of boxes, too. You look at how this team won that game, the factors involved. They came from behind. They did it in overtime. They scored on the power play again. You know, you look at all the different things that this group did to win that game. Riley Basson came back after going without points since his first Western Hockey League game last weekend and put up 3 points in that one. So many, many different boxes being checked for this Wild team, including winning one on the road, which has been a big one for this group. And they only gave up 30 shots, which there have been too many opportunities this group has given up lately. Being able to give up an average to below average number of shots in that game and really grind out a 4-3 win, that's a big one for this team right now.
If this team goes on a run and is certainly capable of doing exactly that, that's the kind of game you're going to look back on and say that victory down in Portland on Sunday the 4th was big.
It is. It's going to be a game that you look at, you know, how did this group allow Portland so few shots in that game, or at least a very pedestrian number with 30 shots. Where did this group find the gusto to come back from down 3-2, going into the locker room with all the momentum on Portland's stick after Carter Sotheran's goal in the last 25 seconds? A lot of things that this group can look back from the game on Sunday and take forward with them into the second half of the year.
And now it's 3 games in 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Luckily, they don't have to go too far. Moose Jaw, a team we don't play, they're in the Eastern Division, 7th place right now. We probably don't know a lot about Moose Jaw. Whatever you can, spit it out. If not, we'll just move ahead to Vancouver.
Yeah, Moose Jaw has one of the veteran goaltenders in the league, in Chase Wetzky. They'll be playing down in the U.S. division as part of that long road trip, so they'll be catching us at the tail end of the division. I think they play Spokane on the way home on Saturday, but it's a long road trip for Moose Jaw. And you look at where the Eastern Conference is. There are 5 teams in the Eastern Conference back of Wenatchee and Seattle, and Moose Jaw is one of them. So it's a long grind for the Warriors. Chance for the Wild to maybe take advantage of a team that is on a long bus trip. They'll hopefully bring the bus legs in with them, and a team that's still trying to figure out the penalty kill right now.
And then back-to-back games will be at Vancouver on Saturday and back here in the big city with a matinee on Sunday. Again, a team that we're chasing up the division, so a couple of victories over Vancouver. Talk about this team.
Yeah, Vancouver, they've played a lot of games. Their schedule is going to be lightening up in the second half, but the Wild get their last looks at Vancouver this weekend, and a chance to take on a Vancouver team that is kind of shuffling the deck here. They traded Cameron Schmidt, the number 2 scorer in the league, for Hyde Davidson, who's been a solid player for Seattle this year, and a truckload of draft picks for the Thunderbirds. So Vancouver is going to be making some adjustments to their lineup. We'll get the first look at their adjustments here this weekend. But also a team that has kind of scuffled on the penalty kill this year. They've been tough to beat at home, though. We've played them 10 times since the move from Winnipeg to Wenatchee. The home team has never lost.
Ooh. So we'll see if we can make that not happening on Saturday.
Make a little history on Saturday.
Absolutely. You mentioned the trade. The trade deadline for the league is 6 o'clock Mountain Time, which is Calgary time. The league office, the WHL league office, is in Calgary. So that's the deadline on Thursday of this week. Already made some pretty major moves. Anything coming down the hopper that we need to worry about or talk about for the Wenatchee Wild?
Nothing that I've heard about, nothing that I can leak so far. Every team in the league makes moves between December and the first week and a half of January. It's not unlikely the Wild will make a move or two sometime this week, but I don't know of anything major that's in the works that we're going to want to tease just yet. Probably, if there are any moves, just some things to maybe shore up some opportunities here in the second half.
Are we going to get a slew of press releases from your office on Thursday, or a couple trickle it out through the course of the... You can tease me. You can tell me.
Depends on when they come down.
Okay, well, let me know. Of course you will. Let's talk about Tobias. He's certainly turned into one of the better finds we've had this year. He's been, unfortunately, quite busy between the pipes, but his save percentage is second in the league. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's made some outstanding saves this year. He's kept us in a lot of games. You know, you look at the percentages that he's had, you look at the numbers that he's had, and 11 of our wins have come with him in the net. He's been great at moving left to right across the net, staying with pucks, and getting an eye on pucks that are tough to see. We've seen a lot of shots that are well screened, and he's been able to either see those pucks or take a pretty good guess at where they're coming. So we've got a goaltender, number one, that can move, but number two, his instincts are really, really good. And I think that's been a big part of why he's been one of the top goaltenders in the Western Hockey League, maybe the rookie goaltender in the league alongside Went from Tri-City right now.
Yeah, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's quick.
Yeah,
and hockey pucks come at you pretty fast.
6'4", and he's sneaky quick back there.
He's good. The one thing that concerns me, again, we're talking to, what's your name again? Oh, the birthday boy, Austin Draude. Penalty minutes. We're third worst in the league, 550 penalty minutes. Usually not Wild hockey. Wenatchee Wild has been known for pretty clean hockey. We've sent a lot of guys into the box. Is that something that the coach is going to work on a little bit?
It's something that is on the list of concerns right now, and it's not so much, sometimes the number of penalty minutes comes up because you play a rugged game, you have some fights, you have some scrapes after the whistle, that sort of thing. But we have had a few too many penalties this year where we're hooking, we're holding, the obstruction type penalties where I was talking with Coach Nachbar about this before the game on Saturday. When you take those penalties, you're not skating. You're not playing. A lot of times you're trying to catch up, you're trying to cut corners, and that's been a concern for the coaching staff the first half of the year. It's going to be an ongoing effort to clean that up during the second half of the year, and I think the results will follow that as well. If the guys are able to clean that up, bring that down, and stay out of the box a little bit more in the second half, the results, the wins, all the other numbers, they're going to go up with that.
Moose Jaw here in the big city Friday night, on the road to Vancouver on Saturday, back here on Sunday. Promotions-wise, we'll start with Friday. What do you got happening?
Yeah, so Friday is our Bleed Blue night presented by the American Red Cross. We actually have a blood drive going on at the rink 11 to 3 on Friday during the day. If you donate blood during the blood drive, we'll have a ticket voucher for you for the game that night, and the American Red Cross is helping us put on the whole shebang on Friday.
Good for them. And then Saturday, what's happening?
Saturday we're going on the road. Sunday we're back at home, and it's our outdoorsman night. So we'll have all of our outdoor vendors on the concourse. Maybe get some ideas for getting back outside during the spring and the summer, unless you like going skiing and snowshoeing and winter hiking, because there's plenty of that to do in the valley. But you also have our Kids in Free Day. Riverside Payments is doing that for us again on Sunday. Another one of the Fred Meyer Sunday Fun Days, and free full team poster signing after the game. So we'll have the posters back out, got autographs from the whole team going into the second half.
What do you say we win all three this weekend? Take them all. And the nice thing is, even though we have a away game sandwiched between two home games, not a very long bus trip.
It's not a long bus trip, and the guys have the full week in between games all month long. Only the one game against Brandon, I believe, on January 28th. It's the only weeknight game other than Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the entire month.
And they're going to start playing a schedule that's more stacked with their interdivision opponents. You're going to start seeing, this is the last we see of Vancouver, but we're going to start playing the teams in our division a little bit more. And these are teams that we know and we can scout.
We'll see a lot more teams in the division. We also haven't seen Kelowna yet at all. We see them all 4 times in the month of February. We never see them again in any other month this season. So we'll play them, but we finish up with Kamloops this month, and we finish up with Vancouver coming up this weekend. We finish up with Seattle this month. We finish up with Portland this month.
What's going on here? Was it like 2 weeks ago, October?
Doesn't it seem like it?
In your world, it must really fly by.
It does.
It does. It really does. Austin Draude, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Let's jump to your forecast, everybody, and it looks something like this. Snow. Look at that. A lot of snow in the mountains. You guys are going to be for a pretty interesting trip, I think, on Saturday to Vancouver. But you know what? They're going to have the passes will be cleared by then. But there's a winter storm warning for the Cascades. It's on now. Goes all the way to 4 o'clock on Thursday. Snow accumulations in the Cascades up to 4 feet. I-90 is probably going to get about 3.5 feet of snow. It's going to snow a lot. And on top of that, it's going to be a little windy at times as well here in the Wenatchee Valley. Beautiful view. That's got to be our Leavenworth camera I'm thinking that's it's snowing up there. It's snowing in the Upper Valley. Thank you, Mac. That's pretty cool. I hope that's the Leavenworth camera. I look like an idiot. Do I look like an idiot on television?
No.
Thank you very much. 38 today with obviously a little bit of light snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. We're going to see some rain later on today. The snow level right now is at 900 feet, thus the snow in the Bavarian Village. It'll eventually go up to above 3,000 feet by the time we get to the afternoon. No sunshine today. Rain tonight. Snow level goes back down to 1,300 feet, but this system is going to pretty much expend all of its energy, so probably nothing on the ground here. And then by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, not bad at all. Austin's good to see you. Go Wild. See you next Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.